Hey, what's up you guys, how's it going? It's Papa, and today I'm going to be showcasing you guys my Diva Zombie Edison list that I have been playing for, not the current format, but for Edison. Now, I've been playing a couple different Edison decks lately. I've been on Lightsworn, I've been on Flamvell, but I really like the Edison Zombie list. It is a very generic, straight to the point kind of list, with just like a few other cards that I like to play in here, but I really stumbled upon zombies just because not only do the cards look cool, but they are actually very consistent as well. There's a lot of cool cards that you can play in the extra deck that you wouldn't normally play in your typical standard Edison extra deck anyway. So, I mean, I do like the versatility of that as well, but I do like synchro summoning, so I figured that if I wanted to have a lot of fun doing it in Edison, I was just going to do it with something I enjoy playing, and that's zombies. Now, there are so many different zombie lists that you can play. This is just my first take of the deck. I just picked up the rest of the cards that I was missing to do the deck profile, and now that I have them, I'm going to showcase you guys what I have been playing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the profile. So starting off with the main deck, of course, since it's Diva Zombie, you have to play 2 copies of Deep Sea Diva. This is probably your best tuner in the deck, minus Plague Spreader Zombie, but basically you're getting the other copy of itself out just so that way you can go into your level 6s, being Bryonic, being Yugioh, but it's just so good. So you do have to play 2, because of course you can only play 2, but I mean, if you could play 3, that'd be broken. So 2 Deep Sea Diva just to get yourself some synchro plays going. For the zombie component, we are on 2 copies of Pyramid Turtle. Now granted, you could play one of this. I have seen people play one of this, and it is very doable, but I mean, I do like 2, mainly because, like, look at the little scraggler. He just looks so cool, so I figured why not play 2. The only downside about playing Pyramid Turtle is that it does have to be destroyed by battle to get the effect, and most of the time this is getting popped by a Raikou anyway, so it is a little unfortunate, but when it does pop off, it pops off because it can get you access to your Mizuki. It can get you access to your Goblin Zombie depending on whatever your situation is, but I do like the little guy, so I do like to play 2. 2 copies of Goblin Zombie. Unfortunately, you can't play more of this card, but I mean, I do like it a lot. Just being able to just keep adding cards from your deck to the hand is really good. It's basically a Sangan for your whole deck, so it's very nice. 1 Zombie Master, just the recursion effect of this monster is really good. I mean, it's basically Monster Reborn for a zombie, and when you compare this with Mizuki, when you compare it with Plague Spreader, it just goes off, so you can't really complain. 1 Spirit Reaper, just because this card alone applies a lot of pressure against your opponent, making it to where they have to deal with this card, otherwise they're going to start losing advantage, and yeah, it just puts in a lot of work, so you play the 1. 1 Mizuki, of course, because this just revives back any of these, and then we play the Plague Spreader because you're playing Doomkaiser and Hades, and it's just the other best tuner. So that's it for the zombie lineup. I think it's just 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 7 of them, so not too much, but it is enough to make the deck go round. Next is just more dark monsters, so we do play 2 copies of Mystic Tomato, just same thing as the Pyramid Turtle, but it lets you special summon any dark monster with 1500 or less attack, so it's very good. Most of the time you're getting another turtle, or not another turtle, you're getting another tomato, so that way you can deck thin, and then you're basically going to be summoning the Sangan as well. Sangan just being able to just recur more, which is again why I like playing the deck, because it just adds a lot of consistency whenever you lose your cards, and when you pair it with Return from the Different Dimension as well for the end game, you're just in a really good spot. So 1 Sangan, double Caius. This is really good for using your Goblin Zombie as well, because you can just chain block, and then not only that, but it just nets you a bunch of advantage when you get rid of a Sangan for the Caius, or you get rid of the Mizuki, whatever it may be. But Caius just puts in a lot of pressure still, so you do have to play 2 of it. 1 Dark Arm Dragon. I'm a father, so you gotta play dead. That's gonna basically do it for the dark monsters. Let's go ahead and add the rest of it. The last ones, I guess, are technically hand traps. We do play 2 DD Crow. I've opted to decide maybe to play 1 of this. Playing 2 in the main deck is a little excessive, but since Vayu Turbo is basically the best deck in Edison, you kind of want to be able to just get rid of that, so DD Crow does a really good job at doing that. It also is just more dark fuel for your Dark Arm Dragon, so you do have to play 2. 1 Tragodia and 1 Gores. These are basically like the OG hand traps, and they're all dark, so they're all good for your Dark Arm as well. But that's going to do it for the monster lineup. Moving on to the spells. Double Book of Life. This card is really cool, but this card can also be really bad. So you definitely don't want to play more than 2 of this card. I mean, it is what it is, but Book of Life is just so good. One Book of Moon, I saw Nimnin play one book, and I actually really like the idea behind it, because you can just side the other 2 if you really need it, and then you can side out like another Book of Life if you need to. But one book has been fine because I do play double D Prison in the main deck, and I basically saw it as I either play double D Prison and one book, or I play double book with 1 D Prison, but I opted to do the opposite just because I like traps, and it helps get rid of more problems than a Book of Moon does. So just 1 Book of Moon, and then like all the one of powerful spells. We have the MST, we have the Heavy Storm, Brain Control, Foolish Burial, Mind Control, and Allure of Darkness. One of the cool things too about playing zombies is that you can afford to play Allure of Darkness, because when you do banish the dark, it doesn't matter because you have access to cards like Return from the Different Dimension, which can just come back when you do resolve it. So yeah, it feels good to draw 2 as well. But all the rest of them are pretty standard. Brain Con, Mind Control, just being able to help you keep synchroing is really good. For the traps, 2 Bottomless. It's just one of the best trap cards, you have to play it. 2 Dimensional Prison, again, same thing like I was saying earlier. I'd rather play 2 D Prison and 1 Book of Moon than 2 Book of Moon with 1 D Prison, because D Prison just gets rid of a lot more cards easily. 1 Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, cards busted. It's really good because you want to have your cards in the graveyard anyway for Dark Arm Dragon, and then being able to pitch like a Mizuki again, pitch Plague Spreader, is just so much advantage if you can do that. 1 Mirror Force, 1 Torrential Tribute, 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Solemn Judgment, 1 Return from the Different Dimension, and 1 Trap Dust Shoot to round off the main deck. And lastly, we're off to the extra deck. So we play the 1 copy of Armory Arm, 1 Magical Android. This can be any other card. This was the 15th card in the extra deck. I didn't really know what else to play, so I just threw in the Magical Android, and it's fine. I mean, you never really go into a 5 anyway, but if you do, it's mainly going to be the Catastor. But if you do see yourself into that, you can go Android if you want to, but the 5th Synchro doesn't matter, so it is what it is. 1 Brionac, I use this card a lot. Doom Kaiser and Hades, cards are busted. 1 Goyo Guardian, 1 Black Rose Dragon, of course, Stardust Dragon, Darkened Dragon, this card does put in a lot of work as well. Thought Ruler Archfiend, Red Dragon Archfiend, Colossal Fighter, Mistworm, and then the last card is the Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, because you do play Cyber Dragon in the side deck, so you wanted to make sure that you play some kind of answer to the like Machina strategy. There's like a bunch of like different stuff that you can play, so yeah, that's really gonna go ahead and do it for the deck profile, guys. I mean, it's not really anything too crazy. It's a very standard Edison list for those that want to like give the deck a try. And I mean, I really do like the zombie cards. I just think they're so cool, and they're very consistent. So that's like another thing that like some Edison lists back in the day, because you didn't have cards like Pot of Desires, you didn't have a bunch of other like staples like Pot of Duality, Pot of Prosperity, just anything that like can help you dig. So you basically just had to rely on Engine, and that's what this deck does. So without further ado, that's going to go ahead and do it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. And until next time, guys, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video.